Welcome back to Living Local. The League of United Latin American Citizens is gearing up to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month and Mexican Independence Day. The organization relies on volunteers to help put together events like this, but they also have the support of the Greater Quad City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and they are this segment's sponsor. And joining us in the studio today is Sergio Mendoza from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Angelica Villarreal from the LULAC Council 5285 in Moline. Hey, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Sergio, let's start with you. Let's talk about what's new at the Chamber. What can you talk to us about?
So we're gearing up for Hispanic Heritage Month right now.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday, September 17th, we're going to be having our next speaker series.
Oh, cool.
So we're actually partnering with our other LULAC Council in the Quad Cities, LULAC Council 10 from Davenport. We're kind of unique in where we have two LULAC councils here in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool. That's amazing.
The reason why we started too is since we're on both sides of the river, we can actually distribute more scholarship money here locally because we do have two different separate councils.
Yeah, that makes sense if they're on both sides of the river too. And that's really cool that there's enough people to sustain both those. That's amazing. Yeah.
And so our next speaker series is going to be with LULAC Council 10 at their clubhouse. And they're going to be talking about their different educational initiatives that they have going on. They started some curriculum for the grade schools, and they have a leadership program for young professionals. So we're going to learn all about that on Tuesday, September 17th at LULAC Council 10 Clubhouse.
And that info is available on the Hispanic website, I'm sure. Right?
Yep.
Exactly, yeah. And that website is, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So let's talk about, Angelica, let's talk about the LULAC first. Let's talk about LULAC just in general and what they do for the community.
Sure. So the League of United Latin American Citizens is one of the oldest civil rights organizations aimed at, enhancing the lives of our Latinos and especially within our communities. So LULAC Council here in Moline does so much work really in helping our youth across our community, across both sides of the river, in attaining lots of scholarships. And we do lots of fun events as our parade and fiesta that we're having. And again, that collaboration with our LULAC Council 10 across the river is just kind of just the neat way in which we give back to our community.
Yeah, I love that. And this year, it's the 15th annual parade and fiesta. That's so cool. That's been around for 15 years and going strong. Let's talk about what people can expect at that event.
Sure. You'll have a huge glimpse into Mexican culture. We have lots of food. We have lots of vendors. We have our parade participants. So it starts off with our parade, and then we kick off our fiesta. So after the parade at noon, we have our fiesta happening from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Runners Park in East Moline.
Oh, cool.
And there you will see our Glenview Middle School Mariachi Band, QC Valle Folklorico. So just lots of events highlighting the beautiful Latino culture that's in the Quad City area.
Yeah, there's raffles, there's contests, there's really no end to the fun at this event. Can you talk to us a little bit about what people could win?
Sure. We have a different wide range of sponsors available, lots of kind of authentic Mexican goods that we have. The silent auction that we'll be having and the raffle will be there. Our LULAC council members will be there at our booth available for purchasing those that are interested in our raffle.
Yeah, that's cool. And that, of course, that money goes to helping the organization too. So, I mean, you might win something, but also support a good cause, and that's exciting.
Absolutely.
So we love that, people helping people. So you mentioned Runners Park, right, in East Moline, that's when it's happening. Can you tell us when and where? Just give us those details.
Sure. So as I mentioned before, we're going to have the actual parade kicking off, and so if anyone is still interested in joining us as a parade participant, you are still able to up until the day of the event at 11 a.m. So again, we'll have LULAC council members there to help out if anyone's interested in the parade. And then after we do our parade is when the fiesta kicks off, and that will be at Runners Park from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And you mentioned, people can join the parade. Can vendors also kind of join in the fun still? Is there still time for that?
So as of right now, our vendors are closed right now for submissions, but we more than welcome and encourage you to apply to be a parade participant. We do get lots of that information out for our vendors for any of our events on our local LULAC website.
Yeah, and the money you guys do do raise, that goes right back into the organization. And how are those funds used? Just in a variety of ways, I'm sure.
Sure, absolutely. So again, a big focus of ours is really education and empowering our youth here in the Quad Cities. So since 2014, we've actually distributed more than $220,000 to over 220 of our local area high school students. So that is definitely one of the biggest, you know, fundraisers that we can to really just support our families and their kiddos that are transitioning, getting ready for that next step after high school.
Wow, good for you. Really making a difference in the community. That's amazing. I love that. So, Sergio, you know, why is it important to have this celebration year after year? You're in 15 years. This is great.
So, the best thing that I like to see with a parade is that everyone is celebrating the culture together.
Yeah.
You know, everyone from the community comes out. Instead of having your own little parties, you know, in your backyards, like, you get to see everyone. You get to see your neighbors, the people you go to school with, friends, family, coworkers. And so it's just really important and a beautiful thing to see everyone come and celebrate together.
Yeah, absolutely. And Angelica, what do you love most about being involved with the Chamber? Let's close there.
Sure. I guess really, you know, we are embracing how diverse and unique our area is.
Yeah.
And it's that Latino spirit of community and collaboration. So this really is just such a great example of what happens when we all come together for those purposes.
Yeah, well, I love that. Hey, thanks so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. And it was very nice to meet you both.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Again, this segment was sponsored by the Greater Quad Cities Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. You can learn more when you visit gqchcc.com. The website's right there on your screen. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.